This is my Season 5 hardcore Dark Shroud Rogue. He is my second hardcore character of Season 5. My first character was a Necromancer who got one-shotted during a side quest in a dungeon during an event where she was trying to save somebody else and ended up dying. So, I think what I want to do first is go over the character really quickly. Just kind of an overview of what we're trying to do here. I'm using Inner Sight, which is kind of unusual for a rogue. Most people would go with combo points, tends to be the main thing. This one, I attack enemies to fill my Inner Sight gauge, marked enemies fill it faster, windfall, gain unlimited energy, and 25% plus critical strike chance for 4 seconds. So basically every now and then I get unlimited energy and 25% additional critical strike chance for 4 seconds, and I have to refill it again. Cycle continues. I'm doing that because a lot of the build focuses on critical strikes. So for example, I have Forceful Arrow, fire a powerful arrow at an enemy. Every third cast makes enemies hit vulnerable for 5 seconds. Every third cast also has increased critical strike chance, and every third cast pierces all enemies hit. Rapid Fire is my main core skill. It shoots 5 arrows rapidly, rapid fire. Each subsequent arrow has a 5% critical strike chance, up to 25% on the 5th arrow, and I gain 15 energy per cast when it damages a vulnerable enemy. So critical strikes and vulnerable. I didn't take any skills in this tree, any of the agility skills, so I need to check on that. But I did take weapon mastery, and I'm using a bow, so that's 12% increased damage to vulnerable enemies. And then I put a point in rugged, but that's mainly to get into here. And I gain 8% damage reduction while inflicted with control and parrying effects. That's mostly because I don't have any skills that break crowd control. I normally do on hardcore, but since he doesn't, I went with this so that if he does get inflicted with a control and parrying effect, hopefully it won't kill him. He's a rogue, so he's got a little bit of mobility and stuff like that to get out of danger. Then subterfuge skills, I've got 2 of these, so that's why I didn't have one here, because I got 2 skills down here. I have smoke grenades, they daze enemies, and then they also increase my damage. And I've got Dark Shroud. And when I have Dark Shrouds, they give me movement speed, and a chance not to consume Dark Shrouds when I take direct damage. When I have at least 1 active shadow from Dark Shroud, I get extra critical strike chance. And then my other main skill, Shadow Imbuement, imbue my weapons with festering shadows. My next 2 imbuable skills deal shadow damage and infect enemies for 6 seconds. Infected enemies explode on death. And for some reason it won't let me scroll down. I didn't know I could do that. Still can't scroll down though. I don't know why. That's weird. But anyway, so infected enemies explode on death. Okay. Then I have increased critical strike chance against injured enemies infected by shadow imbuement. And the primary explosion makes enemies vulnerable. Then I've got Death Trap. It deals some damage. It pulls enemies into Death Trap when it activates, and when it kills it, cooldown is reduced by 12 seconds. And then I have Adrenaline Rush. Gives me energy regeneration while I move. And then increased movement speed when I have high energy, and then increased attack speed when I'm on low energy. Then I've got Trap Mastery. And this is why I chose Death Trap. When Death Trap activates, I gain 12% increased critical strike chance against vulnerable and crowd-controlled enemies. And then up to a 30% chance to gain 8 energy on a lucky hit. And finally, Victimize, dealing direct damage to a vulnerable enemy, has up to a 50% chance to cause an explosion, dealing 84% of the damage to them and surrounding enemies. And it's increased by 120% of my vulnerable damage bonus. So vulnerable damage is the key to this class, to this character, other than defensive abilities. Okay, and then my aspects and so on reflect that. Using a healing potion makes a free Dark Shroud. Each shadow grants more damage reduction. Damaging a vulnerable enemy with a non-basic skill gives a chance to drop a healing potion. And since I may not drink healing potions while at full life, that kind of feeds into these two, kind of synergize. Now I've got this, the Blast Trapper's Adventurer's Gloves, Lucky Hit. Dealing damage to enemies affected by my trap skills has a chance to cause an explosion that deals shadow damage and applies vulnerable. So again, my death traps cause vulnerable. This one, don't have the imbued thing I want for pants, so I'm going to ignore that. This one, critical strikes grant 8.5% movement speed for 1 second. So critical strikes give me movement speed, which is important. Again, for dodging, mostly for dodging those crowd control effects. My imbuement skills have increased potency against vulnerable enemies. That's just kind of a no-brainer. When casting an imbuement skill, I trigger an explosion, applying the imbuement effects and dealing damage of the same type. When a Dark Shroud shadow is removed, I trigger an explosion that deals shadow damage and applies shadow imbuement to each enemy it hits. Damaging a vulnerable enemy is up to a 25% chance to create an arrow storm, so it's just fun and games, extra stuff. Then Smoke Grenade has a chance to create an arrow storm where it explodes, dealing damage. So I have 2 ways of creating arrow storms. And then I don't have the thing I need for amulets, so I'm going to ignore that. And onwards and upwards we go. I could go do Hell Tides again. I'm going to take a little break from those. And instead, I guess I'll do the Omath Breach. Fortunately, I only have like 21 minutes before it expires. Try to do it anyway, why not? Drink a potion. No idea why I just got a reward while I'm riding through enemies. Oh wow, now my horse is there. And my cat. That's kind of crazy. They changed that. Alright. I wonder if I had gotten off the horse before I went into the cave, if that would have changed that. Alright, I am clearly not focusing on what I'm trying to do here. There we go, some arrow storms for you right there. Okay. 4 out of 5. But there's only 15 minutes left of this whisper. Alright, now I gotta select the challenge. Okay, Soul Spires drain health, Soul Spires grant ether, Soul Spires require 2 times kills. Okay, we'll do that one. Alright, one more to go. We're close. But it's right up here, so that's good at least. Alright, here we go. One chance to defeat the Hellcaller. Throw that up to start with. Just gotta be careful not to get hit by those too much. Some vulnerable going my way here. Just gotta keep moving, really, is all there is to this one. Oh, except when she slows me down, then I can't really move at all. Oop. There we go.